Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you. I say that every time, but I really hope you're having a fantastic day. I really do. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm doing a project for Gerda Steiner Designs and I'm using a new stamp set to the shop. The stamp set's called Big Bite, and if you like ocean themed images, this one is so cute. It has sharks in there, fish, some ocean scenery, and this little guy. This is a little puffer fish and I fell in love with him, so we're going to use him on our card today. I stamped him 3 times with my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I added some clear embossing powder, and I'm going to go ahead and melt that embossing powder. So the lines on this guy are nice and bright and vivid. I was going to originally do some coloring with my zig markers and change my mind. I thought circles are very easy to do with Copic markers, so that's what we're going to use to color these guys in. So I'm starting off with Y18 and highlighting this little guy with my YR04 and just using 2 shades for each of the fish. Very easy. This guy we're going to be using RV23, and then we'll do our little highlighting with RV25. I'm going to blend out my orange fish just a little bit more. And then for our last puffer fish, we're going to use R12. And then we'll highlight this little guy with R14. So easy coloring. After we have this all blended in, we're going to bring in an RV10 marker. And we're going to rosy up all of these guys' cheeks. And we're also going to color in their little fins with the RV10 also. Okay, after this was done, I'm going to fussy cut each one of my images out, leaving a little bit of a white border, and then I also stamped and colored in the coral image that was in the stamp set, which could be coral, or I chose to color it in greens, like some ocean greenery. The colors that I used for my greenery was YG13 and YG17. Okay, I have a panel that measures 3.5 inches by 4 3/4, and I'm bringing in a circle stencil that I have in my stash. If you don't have a circle stencil like this, I'll list it down below, but you could also just die cut out some circles using your circle dies and stencil with those. I think it would work the same. But we're going to do some shading with some oxide inks. So starting off with the peacock feathers, I'm just using my blending brush. And we'll do a little light shading. We're going to darken it a bit with Mermaid Lagoon. And then we're going to highlight it with our squeezed lemonade here. So that's what our circles look like. I think when you add 3 colors to circles, it creates a really dimensional circle. Next, we're going to do the largest circle that's going to be on my background panel. I'm just tacking it down, and I did spray that pixie spray behind my stencil, which works great, by the way. I'm using post-it tape to mask off the areas that I don't want exposed behind my background, because I probably would get ink transferred on my background if I didn't do that. I did the same kind of shading with the 3 colors, and as I was looking at it, I thought, you know what, we're going to do something way different. Sometimes when I do my videos, I'll do something like crazy like this. I'm bringing in black soot and doing a little bit of shading. And this is going to give my circles a real 3D effect. In fact, it's going to make them look like planets. But I just kept going and rolling with it. And I thought I would do that to all the circles that we're going to create. We're just adding a little bit of the black soot on one edge of those circles to give our circles the bubble look. And if you wanted to make a galaxy background with planets, I think this would be a great effect too. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I really thought that it turned out fantastic. Sometimes when we do something really different, it's great. So I thought I would share this with you. But I'm just adding a little bit of black soot. Plus, my little puffer fish over there have very stark black detail lines. And so I wanted to bring in some black. And I thought about doing some black splatters. And then changed my mind and thought, well, you would go for this look. But I'm just adding a few of the smaller bubbles in the stencil. In fact, I added quite a few of the itty bitty ones too, just to fill in that background. And I highlighted again all of my little circles with that black soot. I would have used black soot in oxide ink, but I don't have any of the black oxide ink in the black soot. So I'm just using regular mini ink cube of the Distress ink. But I think it looks very galaxy looking right now. But hang with me, because when you add those bright colored puffer fishes to the background, they really stand out, and I love that look. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. For this card I chose You Blow My Mind. I thought it went perfect with those little guys. I'm stamping with Versamark ink, and then I'm going to go over my sentiment with my white embossing powder. I get a lot of questions about my how I store my embossing powders, and this is a nice way to store it. And I loved this because they're little drawers, and they come in 3 in a set, and they work fantastic for me. I'll link them down below in case you guys want to check it out. But there's my sentiment. To cut it out, I'm going to be using an Avriel die called Simple Sentiments. It's a set that you just match the length of your sentiment and put it over there and die cut it out, and it cuts it perfectly for you. Okay, I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind my panel, which is actually a piece of fun foam. I just glued it down, and then we're going to go ahead and flip over each one of our little puffer fishes here and add a foam square. Give these guys some dimension, and then we'll place them on our little panel. I'm not pressing down too hard because I have a feeling I'm going to adjust it just a little bit. Once I'm happy with the placement, then I can press down, and then those little guys will be stuck for good. But I added my sentiment, and now I'm going to tuck my greenery / coral, one underneath the sentiment, or above the sentiment I should say, and then the other two we're going to tuck behind our little fish there. And it was a little off balance, so I'm going to do a little scooting, and then I'm going to pick up this one and trim down the bottom so it's tucked under my sentiment a little bit better. And then we'll scoot this little fish over a little bit more, and then I was happy with the placement. But you see how those bright colors really pop against that background, and for me it turned them from looking like planets to bubbles. Let me know what you think. But I love that, the dullness of the background with the bright colors of those little puffer fishes. Okay, I'm going to add glue behind my panel, and then we're going to go ahead and add this to an A2 size card base, which is a top folding white card base. Place that right in the center. For bells and whistles, we're going to bring in some clear bubbles, and I kind of went heavy with the bubbles because everything was circle in my background, so it worked out really well. I'm using 3 different sizes of bubbles here, and just some of them are overlapping the stenciled bubbles that we colored in. We're going to add just this one more last one here, just kind of doing a little tucking. And I think it looks great. Looks really fun. I'm going to add a little sparkle with my favorite Nuvo glitter drops. They're White Blizzard. It's an iridescent clear glitter, and I decided just to go over my greenery just because it is iridescent. It does pick up the background and my pufferfish colors really well. But that's my card. I am going to take my white gel pen too, and I got pink on one of the eyes. My pufferfish has pink eye. Yes. So I'm fixing it with my white gel pen, and then I am going to add some white details, just some curvy lines around my fish and a few little dots, just to make them stand out even more and give them a little bit more dimension. But that's my card for today, guys. I thank you so much for joining me. If you're interested in any of the products that I use, of course they're listed down below in the description area. I love Gerda Steiner stamps. I think they're such cute images. I always am so happy to create with their products. But thanks so much for stopping by. I wish you a lovely day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.